Hong Kong's current policy towards the mainland has really changed. The new chief executive is too strong. Recently, I saw reports that Hong Kong has introduced a policy to benefit the people, which is to require Hong Kong students to travel to the mainland at least once during the 3 years of high school, and the fee borne by the government. As soon as this policy came out, it was deeply loved by Hong Kong people and mainlanders. They believe that Hong Kong cannot be slow or wait, and the future will be promising. Young people are the future of the country and society. This policy of two-way flow of talents has better promoted the connection between Hong Kong and the mainland. Only by understanding the development of the mainland and knowing more about the country can we have patriotic feelings. Should we say it or not, Hong Kong's approach is 10 blocks away from Miss CAI in Wan. Hong Kong's policy towards the mainland has really changed. After the First Opium War, Hong Kong became a British colony, and then adopted a Western economic system and legal system, which was completely opposite to that of the mainland. Once when China and Britain were discussing the future of Hong Kong, the Chinese side promised that Hong Kong's current system would remain unchanged for 50 years. For a long time, Hong Kong people have held negative sentiments towards the mainland. Due to historical reasons, Hong Kong and the mainland have different cultural traditions, resulting in differences in values and lifestyles among people today. Affected by one country, two systems, Hong Kong has its own independent judicial process, while the mainland's political system will have more centralized authority. These differences will cause Hong Kong people to be dissatisfied and question the mainland. Subsequently, with the rise of all aspects of the mainland, the status of Hong Kong's special economic zone was gradually weakened, and it faced huge economic pressure and cultural shock, which aggravated his hostility and resentment towards Hong Kong. In addition, the favorite thing of the empire on which the sun never sets is to create conflicts. The seemingly peaceful Hong Kong actually has vicious forces behind it. The famous Joseph Wong advocates democratic self-determination and hopes to make Hong Kong independent, revealing his sinister intentions. Undoubtedly, troubles have occurred on social platforms many times, in an attempt to incite fellow parties to rebel and seize power through their own efforts. There are also many people who think that the mainland is discriminated in Hong Kong. As we all know, if the mainland wants to go to Hong Kong, they need to apply for a Hong Kong and Macau exit permit, and the longest stay for mainland tourists is only 7 days. This entry policy has always been dissatisfied by mainlanders. What's more, Hong Kong is visa-free for more than 170 countries around the world, which has aroused strong dissatisfaction among some people. Some time ago, the flight attendants of Hong Kong Airlines despised the mainlanders who did not understand English and Cantonese, and caused a stir on the internet. As the chief executive, Li Jiaqio hurriedly stood up and said, "Similar situations are absolutely not allowed to happen." Because he, deeply knowing the gap between Hong Kong and the mainland, people at the bottom may not be aware of it. In order to avoid such things from happening, Hong Kong has introduced a series of good policies for the mainland. If you don't know your own country, you will not be able to integrate into the country's development. Of the overall situation, I don't understand the operation of the country, and I don't make full use of the good policies brought by the country. All this is due to the new chief executive, Li Jiaqio. What did the new chief executive do when he took office? On May 8, 2022, Li Jiaqio was appointed as the 6th chief executive of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. After he was elected, good news continued. 6 suspects suspected of inciting hatred and planning extreme violence, as well as the partners behind them, were arrested successively. Before the people of Hong Kong had time to celebrate, he arrested the 612 Humanitarian Support Fund who provided financial aid for Hong Kong independence. People benefiting policies. As for property prices in Hong Kong, he said, "Hope property prices remain stable, which is the most suitable for Hong Kong society, and the speed of housing construction should be accelerated." In this regard, he established 2 leading groups, Public Housing Project Action Working Group and Land and Housing Supply Coordination Group can effectively solve the problem of people's housing difficulties. It also encourages immigration waves. Talents often emigrate at random. Population mobility is a very normal phenomenon. Everyone should make different choices according to their own needs. Hong Kong is an international city and a strong backing of the country. It has unique advantages and is also a place where many people's dreams come true. I believe that more people will come to this beautiful place in the future. The education in Hong Kong may be one of the most complicated education systems in the world, and the education stratification is particularly serious. When you are studying comfortably, you have been stratified unconsciously. While the pressure of competition is high, children cannot receive a good education. Li Jiachao believes that this will directly lead to the lack of patriotism among Hong Kong students. Therefore, it is suggested that whether it is a public school or a private school, it is necessary to organize students to go to historical museums, memorial halls, and other places frequently to increase their recognition of history. Encourage young people to go to the mainland to experience different customs, and experience the development of the motherland. Netizens in the mainland don't think so. They feel that this has little effect. They propose that Hong Kong's primary and secondary school teacher qualification certificates must pass the mainland's exams and receive education in the history of China's development. It is indeed worthy of reference. Only students who experience it personally are better than teachers who have taught it thousands of times. Hong Kong has a special meaning to China. It cannot be separated from the motherland, and it is impossible for the motherland to throw it away. We need each other. The new chief executive, Li Ka-chiao, has made great contributions to the development of Hong Kong. He always misses the mainland of the motherland. In order to let Hong Kong citizens better understand the national conditions, he also introduced many mainland TV channels. When the new chief executive takes office, Europe and the United States break their defenses. I once saw a saying that being opposed by the enemy is not a bad thing but a good thing. The more the enemy opposes, the more it proves that we are doing the right thing. Not long after Li Jiachao took office, his social accounts were banned abroad, and the Western media was even more eccentric. It seems that the new chief executive must have been chosen correctly. The historical origins of Hong Kong and the mainland are complicated, and there is a certain isolation and misunderstanding between the two. Even so, I believe that under the leadership of the new chief executive, Li Jiachao, it will get better and better. Hong Kong and the mainland now have more and more friendly ties. I hope that the people of the two places can respect and understand each other, and jointly promote the development and prosperity of Hong Kong and the mainland. To strengthen citizens' sense of identity and mission to the country, of course, while establishing patriotic awareness, the characteristics of one country, two systems cannot be ignored. Summarize. Finally, I want to say that education is really the key. High school students must come to the mainland once, which is very correct. If possible, once in junior high school and once in high school. Most of the students in high school have gradually matured in their thinking and have their own unique concepts. In general, Chief Executive Li's implementation of this policy can be seen as his responsibility. I hope to see the day when he leads Hong Kong to implement good governance and create a grand blueprint soon. Praise for the decision of the new Chief Executive.